holding bin?
Right here.
Oh! Oh my God!
This is just like the ones at home.
Yeah!
What do you think?
Wow!
They're going to step that one to the auction block right here.
They go up this stairs to the auction block. Oh my God! Wow! You don't even have to go. He's been to Ghana. He's been to.
You know what you're looking at right now.
Yes. Yes.
Don't it look just like it?
Yes, it is.
Oh my God!
Stay on the ground, man. Look, watch this. Let me see.
Oh my God! I'm getting chills.
Look at these Mickey Mouse markers the city has placed here. They say this is called the Klusky storages. And every last one of these have different markers for every one of these bins. And they give the definition. So they said this one overlooked the bluff. This one was used as a retaining wall to push water back when we have hurricanes.
That's a lot.
A Girl Scout helped me. She said, Sister Pat, this can't be for retaining wall to push water back. I said, why, baby? She said, because there's a window right there. You can't push water back with a window.
Window.
There's a window. And then if it's pushing water back, why we got a gate? Why we got a gate?
Wow.
There's a wall right there to put the water back. That would bring the wall over there.
They got to change this.
Klusky one that you want to take a picture of, that they lied on and said that he built all of these buildings. Now these are the beautiful buildings he designed. I don't think someone who designed such beautiful buildings
Who built this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Yep. That's like it.
The family should come and revolt and say no, that's not true. So this is a slave holding bin in Savannah, Georgia.
I'm gonna stand by it so you can document it.
It's the same as the one in Africa, Ghana. It is still here. It is in Savannah, Georgia, man. This is crazy. Just give me each. That's Miss Pat started inside the slave bin. But the city is not calling it a slave bin. They put another name on it. This is what they called it. Miss Pat?
Dungeon.
Oh my
Talks like a
God.
dungeon. Talks like a dungeon.
So what does my city say?
It's
My
a-
city says that because we cannot prove that slaves dwelt here, we will not acknowledge. We have not
And you have
enough evidence. I said, are you looking for evidence? Yes. Okay, so I did 30 years in criminal law. I think I can find y'all some evidence.
Yeah.
So here's some evidence right over here on this wall.
Oh.
This wall right here, I stood there one day with some brothers and their families from Atlanta. He saw this wall and started wailing. I said, sir, what's the matter? He did like this. And then he said, this one, and this one, and this one. These three are from his tribe in Nigeria. Say from the Igbo tribe, Ibio. He started wailing. Watch this. Then he started showing me all these other tribal marks from the tribes. Let me just come on this side of you to show you what he showed me, because it's so dark in here. He showed me this diagonal one right here.
Yeah.
He showed me all the different ones. They're everywhere. I just can't even begin to show you
Right
all of
there.
them. There's one.
There's right there, that one.
And look at this one. This is intentional.
Yeah.
Look at this one. This is intentional.
Yeah, like teeth.
And there's down here, I say it because they may have stolen it since today. Right here, there's one.
Yes.
There's intentional. Listen, they're all over the walls. Watch this, and they're all over the ceiling. They're all over the ceiling. Yeah, they're all over the ceiling and everything. So I said, well, I got to bring an expert in here, so I brought an expert in here from the union, the brick mason group. As soon as they walked in, they saw this wall, and they said this is called twice baked. I said, what is twice baked? They said, when you pour it into the shell, the clay into the shell to make the bricks in those hot ovens, you place them in the oven to bake, and then halfway through, you got to pull it out to check for air breakages in the bricks. And they're still soft enough, and when they pulled them out, that's when they were able to write their travel marks and push them back in the oven. When they stack the bricks to deliver for the project, these bricks go on the bottom, and the ones with the names of the places to be taken to, like Reynolds Plantation, Catskill, are on the top. And master them, not looking at the bottom.
Yeah.
We left our marks. We're ingenuous people. Just in case somebody might have come back. There are travel marks called. I said to the city of Savannah, you know what, we gotta find some scholars in Atlanta to come in here and do some interpretation. They said they'll get back to me. Again, thumbprints, you can find them all over the place.
This one, is this a thumb? It almost looked like a love hat.
Yes. In addition to that, you see the ones that are taken? You see these ones right here? We started in 2017.
Yes.
They used to come in here with the box cutters, take them out like this.
Who are these
No,
people?
the people looking for slave collection, they sell them.
Wow.
Women, they used to do like this. Now they know that we're on to them. They no longer come and take the whole thing. No. They just take the front plate and go. Front plate and go. Front plate. Now they just take the front plates and go. So they know we're locked. They ain't got time to be digging. Snatching it and going. Snatching it and going. Snatching and going. Anything they can sell, they do it. Someone told me yesterday, I saw it. 2 of them here have been taken out of the ceiling. Front plates.
Huh?
Right there. Front plate.
They took it from the city.
Yes. Because remember, this is lit up at night.
Yes.
So it lights up as soon as the sun comes down.
It's very interesting that they never
Right next to City Hall. Shame on them.
not only that, but it's because it was built so strong and it's so connected, that's why they couldn't demolish it.
Yes. Like the 1768 built
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
In addition to that, that's airspace, air thing, like cross the lake in the air vent.
Yeah.
So they're all over.
The air vent for when the enslaved Africans were in here.
Yeah, so they can have reason to cross the lake.
Oh my. And that's the
They started
door.
laughing and we stopped them. I said, well, you're laughing. Well, people are stealing. I said, no, we're not going to laugh. But then you're going to kind of hide it.
Yeah.
We're not laughing. We just made them stop.
Uh-huh.
We made them put this up right here in 2018.
Uh-huh.
Because it came before 2018, this was a parking lot for the city. 3 parking spaces for the city clerk and the mayor.
In here.
12 total.
Uh-huh.
Well, we need a forensic DNA test in here. So we can identify these enslaved.
Yeah.
So this is coming. They have purchased this building. This building is empty. It's sold for $6.5 million.
Who was passing? The city?
Developers and purchased from the city. Thomas Gamble was the #1 cotton factorer in the state of Georgia and one of the wealthiest men in America for many years. Over 40 years, he was the 9th wealthiest in America.
Wow.
And he had about 6 different agents, like State Farm agents. He would come from the cotton exchange over here, and they would give you your money in advance. Some boys made money for 116 years. His company did. So now they have purchased this. They're getting ready to convert it to condominiums. And so our rush right now is the front is going to be a beautiful river, but their backyard is going to be this.
Yeah.
So we need that forensic DNA testing done. There will be a tunnel underneath this building right here, 1768. Walked them from the East River under the tunnel and brought them up here. And now God is good. The water around there and all of these is running from the East River into here. Swish swash. I said, listen, I understand now why God placed me on this tour.
Yeah.
Because when I worked the death penalty for the ACLU,
Uh-huh.
the U.S. Supreme Court finally allowed us to do DNA testing forensically.
Yes.
So there are men on death row that were charged with rape and murder. When we did the forensic DNA test, it didn't match up.
Yeah.
I can call them on the phone, they're home, y'all.
Uh-huh.
So we need some forensic DNA because the swish wash of the water, we need to test the water to see if there's any trace of DNA. DNA can go back hundreds of years. We drop a DNA right now. Our hair follicles, our skin follicles right there.
The water can bring the...
I want to test the water. No, the water, the DNA is here.
Oh, it's in
The
here,
water
yes.
is what the wetty is.
Yes.
That's testable. So I'm waiting for the new city manager. And I really have to wait for him.
and the
I
city-
don't have to wait for him. I can raise the money. I'm saying we got to get a test done.
Yes.
The
Yes.
reason I got to get the test done, because these are lies. Those are lies.
They need to take that thing
Yeah.
off.
Next to City Hall, they're telling a lie.
Yeah.
The black administration.
Eh.
I'm just trying to tell you now.
Wow.
They know I'm going to tell the truth. Yeah, they blamed it on the architect. His name was Fusky. They say he built all of these. Okay, so listen. This is a fact. I've never been down here at night
Uh-huh.
this late.
Uh-huh.
Well, I want to tell you about this one. You have to take pictures in here. So here's what's
Take
happening.
pictures. I take video.
You have to take video, but then you're going to have to come back and take pictures, or I'm going to have to send you some because you're not going to believe what you see. Before you go in there, though, let me just tell you this. Stay right here with the video.
Oh,
This is the second one. I'm only able to read the first 2 lines because it runs my blood pressure up. It says, an urban legend suggested that this structure served to hold enslaved African Americans temporarily while being transported on ships through Savannah Port during the mid-1800s.
Wow.
Researchers have found no evidence to support this theory. The young lady next door wrote this. I said, baby, why you wrote down urban legend?
Yes.
I'm Gullah Geechee. If you tell me something is urban and a legend, it make me think that ghosts built all these buildings.
Yes.
Last time I checked, the Ashanti built these, the Hausa built these, all these different tribes built this, so this ain't no urban legend.
Yes.
The building that you in. So anyway, they said it was used to make furniture. I said, yes, after slavery, this is a lie. Anyway, here's what's happening. This one is mixed with lime and algae, that's all. No mold or anything. I've never been here at night. What I want to tell you is I'm going to show you some pictures. The images in here come and go.
Huh?
And they're pictures that look like human beings. So let me just show you my ladies. I've never been at night, so I'm probably going to see something new in my hotel.
Okay.
Oh, Lord.
I'm telling you that a month ago, this was the continent of Africa. Because of the heat, it'll melt. That was the continent, so I got a picture of it. That was the continent of Africa. I don't know what this is forming, but it's new. But these 3 right here, these 3 ladies, I call my ladies, have been here since 2017. No melting has happened to those ladies. You see how it melts? No,
Yeah.
they have been consistent. However, there are 2 more ladies, so it's 3 here, and then it's 1 here and 1 here, and this one keeps melting, coming back and forth. When they do appear, you can see their whole dress formulation and everything. One day I came in here, and this one right here had a Victorian style dress on. I took a picture of it, and I had on a head wrap that was high. She had the same style on it. I said, oh my God. Right here. But these 3, I call them nice women. They've never ventured. And the
Ooh, I
pictures
see
that I
an
have,
image. I see an image.
yeah, you see that? Look at the one with the hair. Look right there.
No, come here. In my camera, there's an image. Right there. Anybody see that?
Didn't I tell you that when you came, you would see something that I didn't see?
Anybody see that?
Yeah.
That's a face. I see a face in this thing.
Everybody not gonna see it. I'm trying to tell you.
I want to see. I don't know where this song comes from. Abetu emaya wololo. Abetu emaya wololo, wololo emaya wololo. So, when did they seal this? Long time ago?
1968, 4 months after Dr. King was killed, from the top of that hill all the way down the river, we have protest marches after Dr. King was killed. And they would come back after the protest march and go to their cars or buses. And this was open, and we could actually go up inside of it and step in. They would come over here after the march and say, this is where they placed our children. And out of shame, 4 months later, they sealed it. It's been sealed for 53 years. The only thing that's in here is sand from Tabi. And they said that because this has been sealed for 53 years, this may have the best evidence in it because it's been sealed so long. So that's what we want. When we were growing up, my auntie used to say, don't act up, I'm gonna put you down there downtown by the children's jail. So we were always knowing about it, but we were like, we don't want to go downtown to that children's jail. So we did know about it.
So the children's jail, talking about the children went back then in the 1870 something.
From 1748 to 1864, they were importing children and taking them from here. Ships would take them into New Orleans market. There are no children that were sold at the auction block in Savannah. We lost children. We saw Sarah with 2, we saw this one with 4, but by the time it got to the end and we looked at the sales, where did the children go?
Yeah.
That's when we cross-referenced and found out a ship came and picked all children up and took them into New Orleans market. The children were from the age of 6 and 9 years old approximately, but on that manifest for children, we started seeing children that were like 6 months old, 4 months old, and just born. I said, where did they come from? Well, those were mulatto children that had been raped on the slave ship, and now they're delivering the babies down there. So they brought them here, and all mulatto girls were taken to the New Orleans area. They placed them in the planter's house until they got 11 or 12. We're looking at the captain's log now. And it said they transferred these mulatto women from the planters' houses as house slaves into the New Orleans fancy markets. The fancy markets back then are the sex trade markets of today. We can't put that beautiful mulatto girl out in the fields. I can make more money on her being in the sex industry. She's beautiful, can't you see? So that's what happened, my baby.
So they will separate these children and they will be without their mothers and fathers at 6, 7, 8 years old. And when they take them, they cared for them, or they just gave another enslaved African to care for
They
them.
gave another enslaved person they were forced to take care of until the ship came. And I'm sure they also were on the journey, remember? Yeah. Yeah. I'm telling you, in that bench right there, the man was blowing the horn, and at that bench right there, they started calling for their mama. Sound voice, the same voice that I heard in there was the same Joy Floyd voice. That's why I know that voice, that call. They were calling for their mamas in there, and people started running out. I didn't want to go in because I kind of knew I was out here, and they came running out. So the guy gave me the video of it. I had the audio of it. Even with the whipping station, there's evidence in 1822 they passed a law to have a whipping station. I asked them where it is. They say they don't know. But I want you to know the first lady Benin came and walked with me, and she started weeping when she got to this wall. I said, "What's the matter?" She says, "All these hooks. This hook, this hook, this hook. Keep on walking, and just all the hooks all the way down. The hooks, the hooks." She said, "It's the whipping station. Whipping station. All these hooks.
Yeah.
They hooked the shackle. They said they connect the shackle to the walls." And they don't want you to move.
Yes, yes.
And then when she got further up by the nail over here, she really started wailing because she fell right into the webs.
She went?
The webs. She said these are the webs from the lash. Look at it.
Oh, yes. Right there, it tore up.
Not just there, down to the bottom too. All the beatings down here. See the pounding all the way. All the way.
Oh.
Only in this area, and then it stopped when it passed that brush.
What is this one? What is this?
Well, that's where she stopped. She started wailing, and I said, "First lady, I need more evidence." That might be 50 years old. She says, "Not this." I said, "What is it?" She says, "These hooks." And then she started showing me all these hooks. The hooks start from the children and go to that green grass, and then no more hooks. You stand all the way back. People have told me it looks like sections where people were beaten. You can see like the sectionals, you know? Like dark places.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this is a whipping station, and we got to have a mark. This will never happen again. You're going to whip it into the bottom. And that's from the first lady of Benin who said it looks just like the one in there. Sacred ground down here. Patt Cotton Factory Company where cotton was canned. 500 bale cotton all up in this area. If you're a man, you pick 200 bales of cotton a day. If you're a woman, you pick 100 bales of cotton. And if you're a child, you had to pick 20 pounds per day.
And sometimes they said, I was reading a book, I think it was Bell Hook's book, said the women sometimes pick more cotton than the men.
That's right, that's correct. That's correct. This moss that's in our trees in Savannah, the Spanish moss, the women that were the midwives used that moss for medicinal purposes 2 to 3 weeks before a woman would give birth on the plantation. They would take that moss off the tree. It can't hit the ground because it's a parasite.
The moss?
The moss, that Spanish moss up there. And so they would use it by drying it in the sun because it usually has red ants in it. They would dry it in the sun. Look how creative we are. Chop it up, make a tea, and instruct the women to start sipping the tea. Before delivery, she's finished 3 weeks of sipping it. By the time she's ready to deliver, and make the contractions come back to back to back.
Wow.
No long suffering. Why? Because they already know that the master said if it wasn't a severe pregnancy, you have 48 hours to get back into the field.
What?
Yeah, that's a fact.
48 hours to get back to the field after giving birth.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If it wasn't a bad birth. And that's why that tea helped them. It has 97 nutrients, so that tea strengthened them. Also, whenever you have a child, you go on the mistress list now as a wet nurse because they check and see if there's anybody in a nearby plantation within a 5-mile radius that has had a baby that's not having her milk come down. They will use a slave woman's milk.
Yeah.
So she doesn't have milk.
So
that woman has to give milk to that white woman's baby.
Instead of her baby.
That's right. So that's why the women got the Spanish moss because it gave them more strength and they were able to nurse them and still have enough milk for their own baby. We're just ingenuous men. We're ingenuous people. Ain't nobody
my
telling us nothing about
God.
shrimp. We're present good. Every year in December, 21st December is when we were emancipated in Savannah. So for the past 7 years, we've been doing Jubilee Freedom Day. The city gives us proclamations of state. And so we bring in outdoor carpet. We put lighting up, so they left that there. I'm surprised nobody said anything. But that first bin that we went in, we turned that into a literary bin. And we get artists that are writers to write stories about slavery and healing. Anything that's been published locally, they go in there, they have a book showing, and people come and buy books. The second one is my poets and spoken word. I have chairs, and they actually have a show in there. My third one here is when I have my gospel choirs from all over the city. Every 30 minutes I have a different gospel choir in here.
Wow.
The reason why I did it for this one, because this concrete that's been in here since about the 1940s, it's making the acoustics fantastic in here. So this is the best place for sound to go out. I like the Savannah River, but it's too boring. They need some music, they need some drumming. So this is where we bring the choirs in and sing. I started bringing them in now. Every third Sunday we have a thing called Come Sunday because COVID closed, and I'll bring about 35 to 40 church members. We'll sing freedom songs in here. The kids did an excavation all the way down looking for slaves, and all they found was water jugs and the utensils. I told them this is probably a feeding center. But the acoustics that they put in here in the 40s are making it very sacred. So I want you to record this before we leave from down here. This is our last piece here. I want you to listen to 3 songs, little excerpts I'm going to send in here to give you a feel of how it sounds, and also record these important songs of the Underground Railroad. We light up the river with it, and I'm just amazed when choirs come down here. So good. I am not a singer, but because it has such great acoustics, it gives you that feeling, you know, of everybody sounding good in the shower kind of. But I want y'all to take some pictures, video of these images. Look at that one. Look at that one like an eagle.
Yes.
That one looks like a person standing with somebody praying.
Yes.
All right now. All right now. All right now. So some of the work camp songs that they sang in here, I want y'all to capture while you look at these images, okay? I'm gonna have to use my hand. I got my drumstick, but this is the work camp song of the men that had to work in the fields with the rice diet. They're not singing songs, but they're happy. They're singing songs to help them to be able to lift the heavy tree down the river so they won't get a hernia. So they started singing songs that have breathing mechanisms. This one is called "I Be So Glad When the Sun Goes Down," and I'm sure please capture these images. I be so glad when the sun goes down. I be so glad when the sun goes down. When the sun goes down, I be so glad when the sun goes down. I'm not down when the sun goes down. 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 And then there were the women from Liberia. They were the ones that were the fellow women that said special prayers in here. They said, Lord, kumbaya. Kumbaya, Lord, kumbaya. Kumbaya, Lord, kumbaya. Oh, Lord, come back here. Kumbaya, Lord, kumbaya. Woo! Kumbaya, Lord, kumbaya. Show y'all some kind of secrets of how to get off the plantation. But when I get ready to leave, I don't want y'all to wave and say bye, John. I want y'all to sing some Paul and response songs back. And so one day, sure enough, at day clean, and Brother BTV sunrise, John come up on that plantation, and he told her as he was leaving, he said, I'm getting ready to steal away, sweet Jesus. Ain't got time to stay here. They said, oh God, leaving. I think we got to give him some kind of wishing of Godspeed. And they began to give him instructions. Say, John, when you leave, come back and show us or send some kind of sign back. But we want to wish you Godspeed and tell you, don't forget, John, to wade in the water. Wade in the water. John, wade in the water. Wade in the water.
Ashe.
I just feel like singing that song.
Yeah.
That song means take heart. Yeah. Vumilia, take heart. Vumilia robo yangu. Take heart, my heart. Trials are like fire. Vumilia, majaribu is trials. And they yanayochoma and they burn my faith. I pray God help me.
And help me to hold on.
Yeah.
And all the atrocities that take through here. What manner of inhumane treatment. Man inhumane. I don't want another generation to experience this. 100 years ago, we all gone. The reason why we do this work today is so that 100 years from now, someone else is in power. Decide, I think that transatlantic slave trade was pretty nice, pretty cool. Why don't we try it again? Because they don't know their history. And this time, instead of enslave West Africans, why don't we enslave mentally challenged? Why don't we enslave people who have tattoos? Why don't we enslave people with pink hair? Why don't we enslave somebody from the lesbian gay community? Let's get somebody that we can put in that position. That's why we do this work. If we don't know our history, it will come back to haunt
Mm-hmm.
So I'm so grateful. So grateful.
Stop taking our black children, our black boys,
Mm-hmm.
police brutality.
Police brutality had to stop. Criminal justice reform. We have to have it.
Mm-hmm.
We have to have it because the ancestors say so. Enough already. Let me just say this, and I'm supposed to reflect that when Floyd left this world, his last words was, "Mama!" Every Gullah Geechee mama, every African mama around the world know that that mother came to get her son. She saw him and she said, "That's enough." When he said, "Mama," it wasn't a call of a man. He went back to being a baby and he saw his mama. He said, "That's enough. I'm coming to get her." And he crossed over. One man had his neck on him. Mama came to get him. That's enough. That sound and that voice and that rhythm came from the ancestral love that came to get him. We know that sound. Every mama knows that sound. So at that point, we reached, y'all, a critical mass in America with George Floyd. George Floyd was used as a vessel to show people enough is enough. So here we are, 2019 gone, 400 years later, and 2 months later, the pandemic comes to America. Making the level of the playing field.
Yes.
Y'all just keep holding on to the Creator's untaken hand. And like you said, that beautiful song, just take heart. Yes. Take heart.
That's it.
Lord,
Thank you, God. Thank you.
That's it.
we got the prayer enough, and we just say thank you to all the ancestors. Ashe, 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 oh, Ashe, oh. I feel like you have really uncovered the treasures of your culture. How have you been able to do that, and how can you advise me on this journey?
You gotta categorize who your people be. That's our Gullah Geechee way of saying it, and we don't fancy it up, you know. So I think it took me 30 years of being in corporate America to come back home.
No, you were a lawyer. I mean, so
Yes, but I
you've
was
been
corporate. I was speaking the Queen's English perfectly,
Uh-huh.
dotting the I's, crossing the T's.
Uh-huh.
But when I came back home, I sat with my aunties and they told me who Gullah Geechee people were.
Yeah.
Your community, as opposed to mine, we're all Pan-African, of course. I think that for Gullah Geechee folks, for example, you break them down into different things. Like when you talk about me and my people, you're talking about preserving the folk ways, the food ways, the spirituality, the water rights, and the elder rights. And that could go on and on.
Yeah.
Medicinal rights, I mean everything, right? Spiritual rights, everything. You got to compartmentalize it, and then you got to see if you still have it. The folk ways of the Gullah Geechee people have to be preserved.
Uh-huh.
It's not voodoo, it's not hoodoo. It's what the Europeans have called that.
Yes. Yes.
How do we survive?
Yes.
We had enough sense to know certain things.
Yeah.
So a folk way is, if you're sitting down, they're not going to let you sweep over their feet. It's disrespectful, right?
That's true. That's
They're
true.
not also going to let you be cleaning all the time, and at night you hear you cleaning and you going all outside and sweep the porch at night. No.
Yes, the same thing with my
You don't
culture.
do that because
Yeah.
you're going to let some evil spirits in there.
Uh-huh.
They hang around at night, so why you going out there?
Yeah.
Things like that. That's the folk way.
Uh-huh.
Another folk way that I came back and discovered, you don't bury your folks with a headstone other than going to the east. You go in a cemetery to bury your loved one. They do not allow children in cemeteries. If you're a little baby, you got a little baby 2 years old and under, they're not allowed in the cemetery. The cemetery is for the dead, not the living. They say it'll be a transfer of spirits. If you decide you come from the north and you're going to take your baby anyway because you think you know everything, when you get to the cemetery, the elder's going to say, do we have any babies around here? They say, yeah, so-and-so got a little baby. And they'll get that baby. And one man will stand one side of the grave, the body going down, and another one. And they're going to hand that baby over that body before it go down.
Oh, wow.
They're still doing it in 2021.
In your culture?
In my culture in Savannah, Georgia, and the coast of Georgia, Carolina, they still doing it at cemeteries. They're crossing the children over. If you have no sense to bring them, they're going to cross you over. That means it's important right now in the middle of this pandemic. In the midst of this pandemic, if you're going through any type of anxiety, in the Gullah Geechee community, we already know what to do. Stop what you're doing as soon as you can and get to water.
I get
I
your
like
water.
what the young people say, period.
Uh-huh.
Stop what you're doing as soon as you can and shut everything down and get to water. If you live near ocean, get to the Atlantic Ocean, Pacific Ocean, whatever. If you live by the water, get to the water.
Uh-huh.
If you don't, get to a lake.
Uh-huh.
Get to a swimming pool. Get to a bathtub with water. Get you to some water. If you don't, you're going to burn out and you're going to hurt people who love you. Get to water. Calm your spirit. It makes you creative. It just shuts everything down. If you know, water absorbs evil. Water absorbs tension, stress, confusion, drama. Shut it down as soon as you call the name of your ancestors. They had names, call their name.
Amen.
Yeah.
So can you say some few words in the Gullah Geechee language?
Oh, yes. We are the ones that know the going on around here. That means we are the ones who must tell this story. Una is you and I in Gullah Geechee. Day clean is sunrise. It means God Almighty done gave us another day to shine. So every morning, like clockwork, He cleans the sky. Isn't that amazing? So we call it day clean. In the morning time, we don't say good morning, you know. We say grand rising. And then after we say grand rising, we say how you be. And if you be fine, you'll tell us how you be. If you're an elder, they get straight to the point. They don't want no grand rising. They don't want no how you be. They'll look at you and they'll say, how the body be. Can you imagine somebody asking you how your body be?
Yeah.
An elder want to get right. What ail you? Just tell me what part ail you, because I know in my head what to get for you to heal you.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of Gullah Geechee folk ways.
And I think I want to hear this one more time, because you say, for somebody like me, how do I balance my authenticity as an African woman, as a Taita woman, with the colonization, imperialism, and whatever is going on right now, capitalism. It's
not easy, but the best way to do it is through your family line. I noticed you said your mother was here with you. You gotta press record and get mama them to start talking and sharing. Because when those elders die, we lose a library, an encyclopedia. My mama gone since 2003. I did not get the recipe for Savannah red rice. I did not get the recipe for her macaroni and cheese. I didn't get the recipe for her sickness on how to cut fevers down. So if you got a mother that's with us, press record when you got aunties and elders them. Because they're the ones that can transfer that information down, and then you got to transfer it down. So for each family, we got to transfer those compartmentalized cultural pieces of us down, so we won't lose who we are. You really do. It helps when it comes to discipline. It helps when it comes to respecting elders. I don't like what's happening with young people where they feel comfortable using profanity around elders. Well, in the Gullah Geechee community, that will never happen. We'd go somewhere and look at him and they just stop right there in his face. We'd go and ask my grandfather, who died at 106 2 years ago, what's the secret to your longevity? Two things he said. I never eat anything that has a mother, total vegetarian. And I never let anybody run my battery down. I said, that's all right, Grandpa. I get it, I receive it. When you see them running your battery low, you got to go. Shut it down. You got to go recharge. You got to go. You too draining. I got to go. You're too draining. Y'all understand how you live long? Shut down people who try to drop their stress on you. It's called venting. They'll call you and give you their stress, and then once they done dropped it, they say, okay, I'll talk to you later. Excuse me, I think you just left me your stress. And now you're gone. You can't dump on me. I'm not a psychologist. I didn't get paid for that. Leave them be and let them go get some professional help. Y'all can't help them. So on my screensaver, back in the day, I still got it though. Too many needs equal no. That means I can't take it no further. Too many needs equal no. That means too much for me. You gotta go get some professional help now. So you gotta take care of yourself. So as the pandemic is with us, seriously, it's now time for self-care. So we're living a good life of caring for ourselves, respecting others, and we're living in our culture. I'm not trying to be on the Queen's English anymore. I know how to go into business meetings and speak the Queen's English, but when I get around mom and them, I'm a split a verb in a minute. Or if I get around somebody that have forgotten they're black, I'll go in there and speak Queen's English. Good morning, how are you guys? How are you? And then in the middle of it, I'll say y'all. Intentionally.
Miss Pratt, I just want to say thank you so much.
So
I love you. We keep in touch. I'm so honored. I cannot say I touch your feet, the way they
Oh,
say.
Lord,
Yeah, I
that's so
touch your
embarrassing.
feet.
I'm so embarrassed. That's a high honor, man. That's a high honor, y'all. Oh, Lord. I'm so honored. Well, listen.
It's not funny that in the 21st century, where modernization has taken place and the world has become a global village, the poor are getting poorer and the rich are getting richer. They say they were modernizing us from our primitive ways. They say they were civilizing us from our uncivilized ways. But somewhere in Africa and Haiti, they are burying us in mass graves. Somewhere in Asia, our children are feeding on trash. Somewhere in Europe, our women are being abused. And somewhere in America, our men are languishing in jails.